Now that we've created our first Hello World application, we can now learn about understanding functions a little bit more in depth. And we're going to take displaying text to the next step. Where previously in our Hello World application we had our label pre-display the text when the view loads up, we are now going to get a button that we press to display text in the label. So now we are going to interact with a button and a label at the same time. So the first thing we want to do is head over to our main.storyboard. From here we're going to add in a button and a label. I'm just going to space the button out quite big, and I'm just going to give you the button name simply Press Me to make it more inviting for the user. Now simply drag in a label, and again I'll do the exact same thing. I'll space it out and I'll center the text so it looks a little bit more eye peeling on the screen. Now we're going to take what we previously did before and use our assistant editor, making sure that we're in the class, the header of our interface, which in this case is the viewcontroller.h. If not, you simply click on it and change, and if you're on different classes altogether, go to automatic, manual, my application, and then find it through there. Okay, so I'm going to do, after UI view controller, do parentheses here to open up the brackets so I can implement my action and outlet. So okay, we're going to start with our button. Simply left click, right click or control click and drag to underneath our parentheses. Make sure it's an action, and the name I'm simply going to put Press Me. Now it doesn't have to be the same name as we give on the button. I'm just doing it so it's easy enough to understand. I'm going to make sure it's touch up inside, as that is kind of like a default action when pressing the button. And I'm going to remove the sender, the arguments, to none. Now that we've created that, we can link up our label here and do the exact same thing, but put this in between the parentheses. Make sure it's an outlet, and I'll simply name it label, and then simply connect that. So I've basically named them what they are, so it's easy enough to understand when we come to the coding now in the viewcontroller.m. So we simply head over there. I'm going to close up now the assistant editor to the standard one. And you can see here the assistant editor has already implemented our IB action Press Me button. All you simply need to type is the name of our outlet, which is our label. Now I'm going to put .text, which we are selecting the text property of our label, space equals space @ symbol, quotation mark. So basically what we're doing now is we are getting the text option of our label, or the text property, to equal our string, which our string is the @ symbol, quotation mark, and in between the quotation marks, this is the text that the string will equal to the property of our label's text. So we can simply put hello, and then end our line with code, which we do every line of code with a semicolon. Now once we've done that, we can go to our build and run in our simulator. So once our simulator loads up, we can hit our button, and by doing that we'll display the hello string into our label. Now that our project is built on the simulator, you can clearly see our label and our button. Now this is the first action that we've created within the course. So as soon as we hit the button, our label will display the text simply hello. So here we go. We press it, and our button has performed the action to equal our label's text property to our string, which included the word hello. So now you have two ways on how to display text. You can either hard code it in the view did load for it to pre-display, or we can simply have our button, we can have our user interact with the application to display text in labels. Or alternatively, you can have your label already pre-display the text from its properties in the interface builder. Next, we dive deeper into the properties of text such as colour, font and size.